Welcome
to Film
Shapes,
the podcast.
You're hoping if you spin the chamber enough times, you're gonna catch a bullet.
Okay, welcome guys. Here we are tonight. We're going to talk about Extraction. First, let's introduce people. Roly, how are you going?
I'm well, thank you.
Good. And Merv, how are you?
I'm well, thank you.
And for his debut, it's Brendan. How are you, Hutchy?
So good to be here, mate. I'm very well, thank you.
Good to have you. Right, guys. So today, yes, Extraction is an action thriller about a mercenary who takes a job to rescue a kidnapped boy, but things go a little bit pear-shaped. It's made by the Russo brothers, production company called Agbo, and it's directed by a stuntman called Sam Hargrave. Chris Hemsworth is the lead, and it's showing on Netflix at the moment. Fellas, what did you think? Let's go to Roly first.
Oh, I get first again.
Yeah.
Oh, look, this is gun porn, isn't it? It really is gun, violence porn.
Yeah.
On one level. I mean, it was quite good there, and indeed, that pornographic part of it is probably the most interesting thing for me. The way the choreography, the use of the pistol as a close combat weapon in this film, quite unique, I think, in terms of the amount that it's used. I liked it on a lot of levels. On others, I thought, but it's an action film. It got my pumping here and there, but I'll leave it there.
Okay. Merv, what do you reckon?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. They did a few things I hadn't really seen before, which is always a good thing. Other things, you went, seen it. But all in all, I thought it was a reasonably well-paced action film in the sense there was some really good high moments, good set pieces, and then there was a bit of a chance to sit back and kind of go, oh, yeah, okay, that was good. And then you get taken off again. Though, as with most things on Netflix, it was about 20 minutes too long.
Okay. You think that there's your length issue again. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, right. Hutchy, what do you reckon?
Yeah, look, well, this really wouldn't be the sort of film I'd normally go for. I'm pretty, like Roly was saying, I'm pretty anti-gun, realistic gun type stuff. So I feel, it's a bit of a turn off for me to start with. But once you get into the film, it's just so well executed. It looks amazing. The scenes are so well orchestrated that just purely looking at it from a filmmaking point of view, I was pretty blown away on that level. But it was a difficult watch for me.
Yeah. I reckon I liked patches of it. It's nothing new. I mean, we've seen this. I was writing down the types of films that it reminded me of, and there's about 6 I've got here. There were moments where I thought I was in the middle of one sequence, and I thought, hello, this is a single take, isn't it? And that went about 11 or 12 minutes, which was pretty full on. I quite enjoyed that bit.
I was going to bring that up, actually, but you go. Yeah,
I think for me, that was the highlight of the film. It's good to see Hemsworth doing Aussie. He doesn't do that often these days, I guess.
Super wooden and super cheesy, though.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, but just listening to a dude in one of those type of movies going, "Nah, mate, nah, go upstairs, mate. Nah, upstairs, mate. Come on." It was pretty interesting.
Is he convincing as a combat veteran? I didn't think he was. Like, I thought the action scenes were really good. He's a great physical actor. We know from Avengers he's a great comedy actor as well. I'm not convinced by him as a real kind of guy that's been through some tough times.
Do you think he needs another 10 years maybe?
I think he needs a smaller house. And
what? What do you mean?
Now we've got to tell Shady about his house on the. Where is it?
He had a chicken in his house. What are you talking about?
He's building a massive mansion in Byron Bay.
He lives inside a Westfield in Byron Bay, and
a shopping centre
with millions and millions of dollars. It's the size of a shopping centre. So then, when he comes to do this, I'm just not really convinced. on
Oh
some
man,
of
you're bringing baggage into it that if you were like me and avoided all that shit, you wouldn't have.
No, I'm not literally thinking about his house. When I'm
Stop
watching
reading New Weekly before you watch a Netflix film.
No,
Is that a magazine?
more than that. Worse than that.
Oh, okay.
You resent him for his house, and then you can't take his acting on board. What I wanted was a bit more. I wanted like Mel Gibson, Lethal Weapon, like a little bit tapped.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But he's just got these cheesy 3-word lines here and there, and they're trying to build the character into someone that he actually does care. You know, they try and build these emotive moments in, like these flashbacks to an out of focus beach scene. It didn't really resonate. I didn't sort of start barracking for him in a way, you know.
Yeah, it's riddled with father-son dynamics, isn't it? Like the kid that gets taken and his dad, and then Tyler, I guess, becomes his dad's substitute, and there's another son and dad situation going on. So, yeah, it's all a bit
alcohol.
I mean, I think but I still had the impression like he was the sort of 2 glasses of scotch and he'd be drunk, kind of. But I was going to bring up. Do you guys remember Stallone in First Blood?
Yes.
Yeah.
Another, that to me is a good portrayal of a war veteran.
Mm.
And this didn't have much of that at all. You know, this had more Rambo, less First Blood, really, didn't it?
So So he's a war veteran, or is he just a merc?
I'd say he's both.
Afghanistan. He'd done tours.
Yeah, 3 tours.
Did he say tours? Oh, okay, yeah, right, okay, yeah. So, I think maybe he's possibly a little pretty and a little young for that role. Apart from the fact that he can kick ass, you know.
Yeah, well, this is the first film I've seen where his actual physicality, I thought they used, because in all the Avenger films and all that, it's hidden because, of course, Robert Downey Jr. is a 4'2" munchkin and all the rest of it, and so they, do all the tricks to make sure they all look the same size. When this film, Chris Hemsworth actually looked like the 6'4", 6'5" monster that he actually is. He's a big, physically intimidating guy. Yes, he's a pretty boy and all that. And this film, actually, you saw him as, an actual big bloke instead of being hidden.
Which sort of confused me a bit, because I would have thought that's a big, slow target.
Yes, yeah, right.
He dodges so much.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he dodged up until a point, I suppose.
Spoiler.
Yeah. It's starting already, isn't it?
But Hutchy, didn't you get a little bit excited during some of those gun scenes and things? Didn't you feel the juices flowing a bit there, seeing him shoot all those guys at close range and the flashes coming out of the end of the pistol? And
yeah. Like, I just thought, oh wow, that's how many times did they shoot that scene? That was so well executed. Blah blah blah. I see it from that point of view. But I'm sort of looking at it through half closed eyes in a way. I'm sort of squinting. Some parts reminded me a bit of Action Jackson, but that was more hand-to-hand combat, which was one of my favourite films when I was younger.
Action Jackson.
There's a blast from the past.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, I got a little bit of the raid from some of that, especially in that 11 or 12-minute sequence where they're all walking through the I guess it's 3-4 story building with the patios. What would you call them? The balconies around the sides. And it was all real close up. Yeah, I think that was sort of raidish, that film, which is, influenced a lot of stuff since it was made, I think.
It's very much like being in a shoot-'em-up computer game, right? You're going up levels. You're over his shoulder.
Yep.
You're coming up with a big boss man at some point.
Yeah, yeah.
But how good was that sequence that I think the one Shady was talking about earlier, where it was one long shot. I'm not sure how they did it, going from outside of the car into the car, through the window or something, and then the camera, and it reminded me, and I'm glad Merv's here as well, because I think there was a little film we talked about a while back called 1917, right? And I remember saying something like that kind of idea of time and things like that was an interesting sequence where it was one shot, but it wasn't for the whole film, of course.
No.
I felt like they were using some of the same techniques from that film in this one.
Yeah, well, I think it went from bridge to bridge, I think is the way it's described. But no, I really enjoyed that because it was a nice, different view of a car chase. Because normally when you see those car chases in confined spaces, you're kind of always looking down from balconies or things like this. But
Yeah.
I just loved how you got to be, you suddenly felt like you were in the car behind chasing, and then suddenly you were in the car, you're out. Yeah, I thought that was one of the better car scenes I've seen since that Robert De Niro film, which name's Complete Ronin, which I thought was one of the best car chase scenes I've seen in a long time. But yeah, this one was just just kept you on the edge of your seat, used that technique brilliantly, and then they went, don't use it again because we don't need to, which was perfectly done.
Well, do you think they didn't want to go to the trouble of doing that again, or?
No, I think it was a technique that suited the tight confines of the way they used the city, because the city, I think, again, the city became a character in this film, that enclosed. It was always tight spaces, and it wasn't like you see some movies where everything, suddenly disappears. People were constantly interacting with what was happening. They were like, "Come, just get out of my way. You're having your fight. I'm trying to get my daily business done." And they just kept wandering through the action scenes, which I kind of liked. Of these delivery guys just do. What was that? Oh,
What's this bike going through here?
Yeah. So I really liked that little bit of.
It was really kind of really too close. I think at some point, like really claustrophobic. It felt kind of too cramped, but in a good way, I think.
Yeah, but I think that was the city. That was where they were.
Mm.
Yeah, I love how you say, the city was a character of the film. One of the most gripping parts I thought is the opening. This build of this kind of drum and slight orchestral music, and these aerial shots of the city, and you see how built up and tight it is. This sort of sepia tone to it. I really like that. It really grabbed me from the very first shot.
I got to say, I enjoyed that as well as a thing, but I felt it's a bit of a cliche that to have this, and spoiler alert maybe here, but that the beginning of the film, which is the end of the film, and then how many times have we seen that?
Oh yeah.
And but before because you brought it up, Brendan, as well, just a little question from one of the listeners here. Why do the makers put yellow filter on this film? Why does Hollywood think that every foreign country is yellow? What I like about this question is the person asking this question has what appears to be
yellow
a yellow filter on their.
I saw that too. Yeah.
On 777. Thank you.
Is it hot and smoggy where you are?
Yeah. What's the deal with the yellow filter then?
I think it does make it feel sort of humid and hot and muggy and a little bit, smoky, smoggy.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
Yep.
if it's Scandinavia, it'll be sort of bluish tinge, perhaps. But yeah, that's right. If it's tropical, they're going to yellow it up a bit, aren't they? Generally.
In Australia, you're just going to up the exposure, make it bright,
burn everything out. Yeah.
Or red.
Yeah.
Very red.
Yeah. I agree with what you're saying, Roly. I was like shaking my head when we were like, oh yeah, so this is the end, and we're going to work our way back from here. And when it comes up a bit later, I'll be like, I know this bit.
And there was when I think about it now, there was no point. There was no reason to do it.
No, I don't think so either.
At the beginning.
I agree.
Well,
but
the director wasn't picked for his artistic sense. He was picked to make an action film.
It's true.
Yeah. This is his first feature, I think. He's been stunt coordinator on lots of Marvel films,
and for a first-time film, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah. I mean, didn't I don't know the names of these guys, but there are a couple of stunt guys directing the John Wick franchise too.
Yeah.
And that's all about stunts.
Yeah. It's not about dialogue, that's for sure.
No. I didn't really mind the beginning being the ending bit there, though, because it didn't actually finish there. They still tagged a bit along. Like there was maybe 10 minutes to go after. It's almost like they picked up somewhere near the end.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
And you would have gone for about 15, 20 minutes without Chris Hemsworth being in it. And you paid a lot of money for him.
Start with your strongest stuff. The old adage.
What's that again, Hutchy?
They always say start with your strongest stuff. So
yeah.
You got to set the scene, put your star in it.
I think that's part of it. They were thinking maybe that people could get bored if we don't show them some action right at the start, because it takes a little while to get into it. But I was fine with that.
Yeah.
There's something else I wanted to talk about, guys, but I don't know if we're going to spoil this. This is based on a graphic novel called Ciudad. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing that correctly. Now, in that graphic novel, which I'm going to spoil anyway, here's me dancing around it like Roly asked me to, and I'm not sure I can do it. It ends differently as it does in the graphic novel. Did you guys like the very end shot without trying to say much more about it?
Yes.
Okay.
I saw it coming, though.
You did?
Oh, this is the swimming pool. There's a swimming pool.
Good.
Yes.
You're better at this than I am, Roly. Yes. I didn't even mention this. Yes.
Okay. I was literally just trying to remember what scene it was, but
do you know? Okay, look, fuck it. Well, let's spoil it.
It was a choice of two cliches, and I preferred the cliche they used.
What's the other cliche, Merv? Though.
Yeah, maybe tell the other one.
Well, you can either have the sacrificial figure,
okay,
or you can have the resurrected figure.
Oh.
Okay. Oh, good. Okay, let's
He's
leave it
Jesus.
At that
Yeah. Yep.
Right.
Good.
So he goes into the fucking river at the end. Okay, people, he's dead. Right. He's drowned. He's shot up to bits. Then the Indian boy is doing some diving. He comes up, very mirror style to what Hemsworth did earlier in the film. Comes up from the bottom of the pool, and there's a geezer looking a bit like Hemsworth, shall we say?
A foggy figure.
A foggy figure. Yeah. Is it him?
But in the graphic novel, he.
Well, in the graphic novel, he's in hospital saying, "Yeah, okay, now this is what we have to do next," and he's actually survived.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Shaki Harlem's just come in. You all seen the movie, huh? Yeah, we just spoilt it for you, mate.
sorry, mate. What bad timing. I didn't buy that. That was the bit that I really didn't like in the film. I thought,
franchise.
You reckon it's not set up for a franchise.
Netflix franchise.
No chance.
Every chance.
They won't be able to afford to get him back.
Netflix, they're making a packet of money at the moment. They can afford to get him back, particularly if he's a producer or something like that.
Yeah.
This is a chance for Netflix to create a film franchise. They've tried. I mean, apparently they are making a sequel to Bright, but let's be honest. Most Netflix films, particularly the action, have been stinking piles of shit. Where this one is actually enjoyable, and you've got Chris Hemsworth, get him on board. You actually can create a 3-4. You can put him in any situation. Type character. You've got a character you can just build any old film around. It's.
Yeah. You think
this
they're going down?
It's a franchise.
So you reckon they're going down the John Wick sort of path, similar type of film?
Well, anyone. You look at any action series, as you said earlier, Lethal Weapon. If it's a success, you've got a character you can put into all sorts of different crazy action sequences. So I think that's they're making sure they can leave it open. I mean, you've got the Russo brothers behind it, so there's a bucket load of money.
Yeah.
You've got Hemsworth, who works with the Russo brothers, and you've got the stunt coordinator. All that. So you've got a team of guys who've been working together for 10 years and are probably about to move out of the Marvel universe and start their own thing.
But if they were going to do that, wouldn't they have it as a cinema release to actually get the box office? We don't know what the box office is. Yeah, I don't know. I don't see this going any further.
I do.
Let's have a little wager on this, Merv.
Done.
What is it?
Are you saying? Are you guys saying it's a Netflix release or a cinema release? Who's saying what?
I don't reckon they'll make another one of these
at all.
At all.
Okay.
I think they will.
Within a time frame.
One on Netflix already.
15 years, then.
No, I'd say, I would think probably 3 years because, of course, everything.
Okay.
It's got to be backed up because of the coronavirus and all that sort of stuff.
Here's a good... Hutchy, you were saying it's number 1, right?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Is that just here because of the Hemsworth angle? Or would this be Netflix around the world, do you think?
Unsure. Let me see if I can find out.
There's also another thing that I was talking about with my wife before. How do we know how films are doing that are released on Netflix?
You don't.
There's no box office tally, is there really? Except for that little newish thing that says, number top 10 or something in Australia.
But again, that means nothing because it does mean people have watched it to completion. It just means they have started the film. It is the most started thing on Netflix in Australia.
Okay.
I guess you just look at the share price of Netflix and work it out from there.
That's pretty hard to do, though.
Yeah,
surely.
It's not very good, is it?
Yeah, which is why the other thing is Netflix gives its directors and all that pretty much complete control, which is why most Netflix films are long and overindulgent because Netflix just wants content. So they go, here, $50 million, do what you want.
One thing that goes through my mind when I see someone like Chris Hemsworth and his, previous films and who his fan base is, and then he does a film, which would be a lot of young people, and then he does a film like this, and those young people obviously will want to see it, but it's not the sort of film I'd want a child to be watching. You think that would ever cross the filmmaker's mind or Hemsworth's minds, or is it something that you guys think about at all?
Nah.
Yeah. No, not really. It's a natural thing for an actor to do, isn't it? To go from one type of film to another and explore their range.
I don't know. Do they think about it? Probably not. I think
I think they would definitely think about it.
Yeah.
They would definitely think about it. But maybe I think without the box office pressure, because it's Netflix, maybe they have to worry about it less.
But I guess, Hutchy, you're saying you wouldn't let your lad see this necessarily.
Oh yeah, no way. And then, and I watch it thinking like, why do people make films like this and find them entertaining? I probably know the answer to that, but it does baffle me in some way as well. Or I just wish this wasn't what everyone wanted to watch.
Yeah, the fact that it's gone straight in at number 1, it's
people love seeing people get messed up.
Yeah. Fact. I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah, it's true. I like that. Yeah.
I enjoy my dumbass action films.
I know.
Because it's not real. It's fake. It's the arena. It's massive pantomime in a way.
Yeah, but it's fake, but it's made to look and feel real, though.
But it's not.
It's sci-fi.
Yeah, it's true. It's in a realistic setting, I guess, isn't it? Yeah.
I don't.
It's not.
Yeah. When we were watching this film, though, I didn't find it so realistic. We were laughing in those. Yeah. And that part of that is the discomfort that comes. One taboo I thought they were breaking a little bit in here, which I thought I was interesting was the violence with children. So when
Oh,
the kids are getting thrown around, and I got to admit, I kind of liked it. I was thinking, he's not going to shoot the kid. They're not going to go that far. They're not going to kill a child. Well, without giving too much away. Doesn't kill a child. But to see him flap them around like a big guy like that, like they're little mosquitoes, like, get out of here. That was kind of fun. That was
he needed to deliver the line, "Little shit's a little stronger."
Yeah, as a director, I think he could have had a bit more.
Yeah, could have gone a bit Arnie on that one.
Yeah. Yeah, that would have. Yeah, this is 30 years ago. This is an Arnie film, really, isn't it?
True.
Yeah.
So, what do we do next? Is he going to do more films like this, do you think?
No more Extractions. I've already I've underlined that.
There'll be another one.
That's the thing. That's what I'm getting at. If this is successful, but how do we know if this is going to be successful?
It'll just come down to, well, I mean, put it bluntly, all they had to do was make the film. They didn't have to pay, millions and millions of dollars to distribute it and to advertise it. So they've actually saved a bucket load of money. I reckon they got Chris Hemsworth at a reasonable price because, again, they're all friends. The director was cheap as chips. They shot in Thailand and India. The other thing is, it'd be interesting, I don't know if any money came out of India for this film as well, considering the vast majority of the cast is Indian or Iranian. I think the main, she was completely wasted. She should have been used far better, his boss.
Yeah.
The twirling balls, though. That was a nice cheesy scene.
Sorry?
The twirling balls?
Yes.
Just like, come on. Sorry to interrupt.
No, It took me a while to remember that. I thought, yes, I do remember, yes. We did focus on the twirling balls several times, didn't we, to show she was a thinker.
What?
I've forgotten this completely. What are you talking about?
She had those prayer balls.
Those prayer balls, yeah.
What? No, I'm. What are prayer balls?
She was assessing the scene in like the war room, like deep in thought. Oh God, he's in trouble, and she's twirling those, stainless steel balls in her hands.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, I don't remember that, but yeah, okay, right. Yeah, but again, Merv, yes, probably they've been efficient with making this film, but how do we know it's made money?
Well, it's not a studio film as such, so there's no pressure from the studio. It's a production front. It's the Russo brothers. I doubt they sold it at a loss.
Sure.
So Netflix has gone, great. It's number one around the world, probably.
Yeah.
We want another one. Because now we can have a franchise of films which are based on Netflix, which will draw people in to subscribe.
But this sounds like I'm beating an old drum, but they're not getting a ticket for every person that sees this film. They may already have Netflix.
It's a different.
They've had it for a year.
Yeah, so basically it's a new model. Maybe the Russo brothers have seen the new model because the film industry is going to take 12 to 18 months to basically get out of the shithole that it's going to be. Cinemas in America, the big chain cinemas, are in trouble.
Yeah.
So are people going to go back into the cinema in the next 12 months? So your traditional film release model is completely busted at the moment.
Yeah.
I think this was a relatively cheap film to make. It's, it was shot in India and it was shot in Thailand.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
With some shots in Bangladesh.
Were the Australian scenes in Australia?
Oh, yeah, the one scene in Australia, which was probably at the back of Chris's house.
That's his pool.
Or maybe inside his house if you guys are talking.
His chopper, yeah.
Yeah, so
look at Chris Hemsworth's house, Shady.
I don't even want to. No, I'm not doing that.
And who are the two Hollywood stars? Chris Hemsworth and David Harbour, who is that's 10 minutes I would have cut out of that film in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
But again, he's a Netflix star.
Who is that guy anyway?
He's from Stranger Things, and he played Hellboy in the last Hellboy film.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, I haven't seen that, but probably won't.
No,
yeah,
it's terrible.
Yeah,
But he's the cop in Stranger Things, so that's where he's kind of become a star.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
Roly, I'm not looking at that fucking link. You can don't even. No, send me a link. No,
Not for you, mate. The other people might want to check it out. So have a look. It's worth a look. It's huge.
So Hemsworth was a producer on this as well, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Was he? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
and not even executive producer. It just said produced by Chris Hemsworth, big bolds. So
yeah. Maybe he asked for a producer credit because he did it for such a low rate or something, and then they get the franchise going, and then he cashes in.
Yeah,
they're all friends.
Yeah, but look, I mean, I guess we've talked a lot about behind the scenes sort of stuff, but did that make the film much better? I don't think there's anything original about this, and it's probably in the sort of theme of somebody trying to escape a city. It's been done much better in the past. The theme of mercenaries trying to extract people has probably been done better as well. I'm thinking of Man on Fire with Denzel Washington, which is pretty cool film.
It's a terrible film.
That's all right, man. It's better than this one.
No, I would pick this film any day of the week over Man on Fire.
Really? We're going to different cinemas then. But yeah, I mean, and Crow did something similar to this, didn't he? Proof of Life with Meg Ryan?
No, that was about a kidnap. That was out in the South America, out of the jungle, and that was more about the relationship between him and Meg Ryan.
Sure, but okay, the theme's there anyway. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think this was original, exciting for a bit, and I think I got to the end of that one take and thought, now it's drifting a bit. Really, it didn't have much more. I think halfway through, I kind of faded a bit. To be fair, it's all right. Yeah. It's okay.
But for a first-time director, the guy can make an action film.
Okay, let's give him.
He's a stuntman, right? He's an ex-stuntman.
Yeah. And coordinator.
So that makes sense in the context of those scenes, which were the strongest part of the film, I thought.
Yeah, for sure. All right, guys, I reckon that's plenty. Thanks very much for coming, everybody. Thank you, Roly.
Thank you.
Thanks, Merv.
Thank you.
And cheers, Hutchy. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
See you next time, folks. Bye.
Grab a hold of my vest and hang on as tight as you can. Kid, you trust me?
No.
Good. No!